Record it. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Smith Agency and Fritsch Agency collab call, first collab call, which is exciting. This call, we're going to be kind of talking about utilizing social media for profit and also building. So we're going to kind of kick off first with kind of building how you can utilize social media to generate an agency. And so I kind of want to talk about that, but I did want to caveat this is not to say, hey, you don't need a cold market recruit. If you want a cold market recruit, that's completely up to you. I just more want to share some tips and practices I've seen. And as someone who's built kind of a team primarily from recruiting on social media, just kind of wanted to share some insights and tips. I did also want to say, because I know we have a lot of people on my team on this call, kind of wanted to talk about who on this call is from social media so we can kind of show you the power of it. So we have Chantel, Nicole, Chase, Jaden Hayden, Amaru, and I know we have some other people on our team that are from it, but those are people on this call. Y'all all came from TikTok, which I think is cool because y'all all probably look at these people and say, hey, you see them all around. They're always in the Mac room. They're always in Schnitzer. They're on our team calls. They're getting on the leaderboards. They're in our Slack. They're engaged. That is the
Well,
power.
actually, not to cut you off, but I'm also looking indirectly. So is Rod in a way because he started following Scott and I before he joined, and I
Yeah.
think that's what brought him. And then Polaris, didn't you find Ethan through TikTok? Yeah, right, Ethan.
No, we went to middle school together, but technically, I guess he saw what I was doing through social media, and
Same,
then we
same,
reconnected,
Yeah.
and we
same, same,
reconnected through social media. Yep, yep, yep.
same,
Same,
same.
same.
All right,
Yeah.
sorry,
So
I broke your concentration span. My bad.
no, you're good. You're good. I was just more to say when we look at this screen, most of us came from a social media or a warm connection. Some of us came from LinkedIn, which it's not bad with, there's nothing wrong with LinkedIn, but look at the power of building a team when maybe you don't have the resources to go on LinkedIn. When I was new, I didn't have the budget to go spend a $500 a month on LinkedIn. I didn't even know how to do it. And I didn't know what that looked like to build. One thing I did when I first got here was I made a decision. I was going to share my journey on TikTok. I didn't know how that was going to work. I didn't really have a big following. Y'all probably see my page. I still don't have a crazy big following or anything like that. Um, but through that, we have ended up having a team, kind of our team chart. And I was doing the calculations earlier. I think people that are kind of consistent, because I know writers circulate in and out, but out of my team of about 19 licensed agents, I would say 13 of them are TikTok recruits that have come from TikTok. Um, ready, licensed, ready to go. But one of my favorite things about it is the turnaround. Perfect example, Nicole had her license. She was working at a different company. She didn't feel aligned. That vision that at Globe wasn't what she thought it was going to be. But Nicole had been following me for a little bit. And then Nicole said, hey, can you just tell me a little bit about kind of your company? Because I'm doing this and it's not the same thing. We hopped on a call. We felt like it was a good fit. We went to that next call with Scott. And then she hopped on the onboarding, signed her onboarding email on Friday, wrote her first policy that next week. And now she's dialing. In a traditional cold market recruiting, it's first interview. Hopefully they make it to the meet and greet, pre-licensing. Then if they get through pre-licensing with their license, it's an average, I feel like, turnaround of about 4 to 6 weeks on average. Power of social media is that you may find somebody that's looking for a home. They're already looking for a team. They're looking for the right place to plant. So that was what I decided. That was what I wanted my social media to be utilized for TikTok specifically. And I'll kind of explain how I utilize other social medias and why. Um, but the goal was to look for people that were already looking for this opportunity and to show them what symmetry was. I'm not the best producer on our team. I know that for a fact. There's a lot of great producers. I don't even want to be the best producer here. I'm not trying to build people to Sabina. I'm trying to build them to symmetry because we have a good home. When you think of social media as I'm just sharing an opportunity of what this place could do for you, it becomes a lot easier to post, but becomes a lot less cringy. The life insurance space on TikTok is already filled with sales bros. It's already filled with FFL people trying to flex their numbers. People don't even want to hear that anymore. What they want to see is they want to see if they can find a place that's safe, that feels like them, and that they feel like they can find themselves in and build a business in. They're looking for something that they relate to. If they're already looking into life insurance, they know there's good money. But what separates your videos from somebody else's videos is going to be how you present the opportunity and the bait you're using to fish. I don't want people coming on my team that don't see this as a business, and I'm fighting them to buy leads. I've found that when you are very honest with what this opportunity is, you find people that this opportunity gravitates for them. And it sells it themselves. I know Chantel, me and her, we met, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I literally was like, Chantel's just probably not gonna come here. She said, I'm looking at 4 other IMOs. And I was like, okay, cool. And I think I did like 3 interviews that day, and I was like, I don't know, like whatever. Gonna happen, it's gonna happen. She called me back and she was like, hey, I wanna come here. I did more research. This is the place I want to plant. But that's the thing, is that she was already looking for a home. She had a license. She was looking for somewhere that felt safe. This isn't we're not trying to close people on symmetry. We're trying to show them the opportunity and see if they resonate with it. We're trying to see if they can picture themselves being a part of our team. There's a lot of people that have licenses. There's a lot of people we don't want that have licenses on our team. We don't want people that are going to do fraudulent business. We don't want people that are going to come here, write a bunch of chargebacks and dip because they thought they could just come here and make a quick buck. We're looking for business partners. So what do we want to fish with? What is this business? How are we better than the other companies? Which we all know. We have great leads. We have amazing technology. We have awesome trainings, but our culture is kind of the best thing about symmetry. That's what we want to kind of share. So I kind of wanted to walk through a little bit of just strategies that I thought really help with building, because I feel like we kind of all caught the vision. Hey, it's exciting. I went from 2 writers January to we've averaged for the past 3 months 9 to 10 writers. That's pretty awesome. That is a lot of people when they're going into their agency owner run. The biggest issue is an APV. It's usually writers. We have had a crazy team that we're all learning to write. So now we're finally writing business and we're kind of getting it issued and paid, and that's awesome. But the team part has always kind of been there. So now I kind of want to go into the practicalities, but did anybody have any questions about kind of the vision about why using social media to build is so, it's goated, it's kind of slept on. So anybody have any questions about that before we kind of get into practicalities? Okay, cool. I kind of want it to be kind of more Socratic. So if you have a question, it's kind of a
I'm sorry, I have a question. I was trying to unmute, but I had an old people moment, couldn't press it. But what does your process look like? Because I'm doing the same thing, right? I'm bringing people in from social media. I am booking interviews, which is nice. I actually just booked one. Let's go. But what does your process look like to get them obviously to reach out? And then after they reach out, what does it look like to transition from social media to an interview? What does that
yeah.
process look like for you?
So that process is one, either I reach out or they reach out. If they're liking my stuff, I'm usually, and I stole this from, I don't remember who the guy is, but he was telling me about it. But just, hey, if someone's viewing your stuff a lot, send them a message. So I do start doing that. But a lot of the times people have messaged me, hey, I'm interested in this, or I've commented on theirs or they've commented on mine. That next step is a Calendly invite, and I want them to book on my calendar. I don't have the time to send them 16 different options and for them to say it doesn't work. I'd rather them pick a time that works and it's already adjusting to my calendar. So it's that first call, and then I'm shifting them to a meet and greet or however your agency does your next step. But my first step is I want to meet them. Do I connect with them? And sometimes we talk more strategy. What does symmetry have to do with them? That calls a little less about alignment. It is more about, hey, they're probably interviewing with other people. You need to work them full spread. Here's comp structure. Here's what leads look like. You're talking to somebody that isn't just like, oh, like sales. Like they're looking into life insurance sales specifically. They're comparing other IMOs. So I usually go through comp. I go through Slingshot. And then I talk to them about the cool things that I don't think anybody else does. I talk to them about ownership, bonuses. I tell Scott's story. Hey, 3 years, Scott and Kate went from this to this. Tell a little bit of my story, and then I kind of ask them what they're looking for. hey, if you can make this opportunity anything, what would you want it to be? That's kind of where I want to hear their vision. Perfect example, me and Nicole were talking. She was at an IMO that pushed recruiting, recruiting, recruiting. She said, Sabina, I want to build, but I want to know what sales are like. I don't know anything about sales. I wasn't taught sales. Imagine being in a sales role, not being taught sales. That's kind of probably annoying when that's what you want to do. She wants to learn, but she does want to build. She wanted to know, hey, are there people that are going to teach me? Am I going to just be left alone? Or like, if the leads I call, do they actually want this? Because the leads she was calling, it was a bait and switch. She wanted to know what she needed to hear, but she wanted to know, hey, is this the right fit? So I would have told her, yeah, I mean, not really. We don't really do sales. It's more building. She probably would have gone to another person to look because what she wanted was she already knew what she wanted. She wanted to see if we fit within that. So that's a little bit kind of that process. But first step is before we even get to the interviews, how do you get to interviews? What do you post? What kind of content gravitates people to engage and comment? So the first thing I would say is stories. People love stories. TikToks that go well are the TikToks that are about stories or advice or tips and usually series. I always encourage people to try to do a 3-part series. It's a great way, 3 to 4 part, to extend your content without having to think of a new idea. It's draining thinking of reinventing the wheel constantly. So if y'all want to write down a tip, I would say first post, if you haven't made a post yet, or if you want to start posting, do a 4-part series of how you got to Symmetry. How did you get into insurance? People are dying to know that. They want to know what you did before. What did your first month look like? What does it look like now? I would do that. That is a great first post. So first post, tell your story. What does your story look like? And you're still writing it, but why did you choose this? You chose to bet on yourself. Whether you're part-time or full-time, you're choosing to get a license and to try to build something and to try to figure the skill out. Share that journey. That is one thing that I think people really gravitate to. People resonate with our stories. They resonate with our experiences more than just the numbers and the money. Those posts are all over. And if you ever look at the comments on those posts, it's always tell about the chargeback, tell about this. People, they don't care about the family you've helped. They want to disprove that that's not real because they're not having that experience. That's where you start entering into this kind of category of these other people. And they're not really building off of social media. And if they are, they're building kind of same versions of them, but we're looking for business partners, not just producers. So that's the first thing I would say. Tell your story why you got here. I did when I was new, 3-month, my first 90 days of life insurance, I did a month-by-month update. So I made 3 videos and people were following along. I think that's a helpful part story. And then if you have been kind of figuring out sales, give people sales tips. Hey, here are things that I wish I knew when I was new. Those are great things to do. Or say, hey, here's a 5-part series of things I love about Symmetry. That is so easy. Part 1. And all you do, put your phone up, open TikTok, record, set it for a minute timer. Say, here are things I love about Symmetry. Part 1. Say one of the things. Say one thing for a minute. Open it, save it, go to your next video. Batch it all together. You just did 4 videos that you can post for that week, and you can post them back to back. You can post a few things in between. That's content that you can have that can last you almost like for 4 weeks, you could have that going. And people are going to circle back. People may watch part 4 and now they're coming back to part 1. But batch it all together. Who in here has tried to open up the camera, and when you do, you just want to put it back away. You just shut it off and you're like, I don't want to film this anymore. Probably all of us. It's uncomfortable. It's not fun. You don't need to be a professional. You are not going to beat the best vlogger in the world. We're not trying to beat the best vlogger in the world. We're trying to share our story and find people that resonate with it. We're not trying to be Giuliani Massarelli. He's an influencer. That is the whole point, is he makes money off of views. I'm not looking for I'm not trying to make money off of views or go viral. I'm trying to find people that are looking for this and trying to tap into a market of people that are already searching this industry, whether they're licensed at another IMO or they are looking to get licensed, or they are licensed, but they don't have a home. I'm not going for virality. That's when you have to work on performance and perfection. People don't care if you stuttered. You don't need to retake it. People want to see you show up. They want to hear what's going on. They want to know your story and they want to feel that connection because that's when it transfers from a cold lead to a warm market. They may not know, I may not know them, but they know me. They know about my husband and they're like, I'm like, oh, you know about Christian? Yeah, I see you post about Christian. They feel connected to him based off of me. They feel connected to Symmetry based off me, to our team based off of those connections. So I would say that that is a great way to share your story. But I don't like posting the numbers without going to details. I go full transparency. If I'm going to go, hey, this is what I produced this week, we're going, this is what I spent on leads too. Here's the actual amount. Here, hey, this is how much I made from this specific sale. Not just APV submit, the exact. People crave vulnerability on here and they crave authenticity and transparency because this industry has a lot of shady people submitting numbers. If you're going to go talk about the numbers, we need to talk about them authentically because people love that. Um, so those are some ideas of things that I would post. I would post series like that. And I would encourage you after you make a sale this week, each of y'all open up your phone and talk about it. That post sale APV glow you have, you know, you feel the best you ever felt once you ride an app. Open up your camera and talk about it. People are going to gravitate to it, and you are already feeling the most confidence you're probably going to feel that day until you make another sale. Go post about it. That is the easiest time. Share about the person you helped and the amount you made. Or share about, hey, the favorite thing that you had in there. People love that and people gravitate toward it. But I would say that a lot of social media, what I found is a winning strategy is just being authentic on there. Content that you feel forced to do, you're not going to keep up with. I understand making content is a discipline, but if you don't connect to your own content, how is your audience supposed to? If you feel like the things you post don't feel like you, they won't feel it. They won't feel that, hey, this is Sabina. Because who is it? It's whoever I'm trying to become for that video. So I would encourage you, hey, find things that you like to post about. And you don't just have to post about life insurance. I post about a lot of different things. Post about your life. People want to hear about that. But content is going to feel like a chore when you make it a chore because you're putting on a mask to be somebody else. Show up as your authentic self online, and people are going to gravitate to that. People are going to find that because y'all have seen my content. I'm not going viral. Like, I usually average around maybe 30, 40, sometimes 100 likes. That's not a ton, but I get a lot of saves. I get a lot of people messaging me. I get a lot of people in my message request saying, hey, I'd love to hear more about this. I'm not looking to go viral. I'm looking to build a team. I'm looking to build an agency. I'm looking for writers that's long-term money, but that's also people that want to build something beyond this. So I think reshifting that focus is really, really good. I do kind of want to take a pause because I know making content's kind of stressful. So does anybody have any questions kind of about content process, tips, tricks, things like that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know I joined late, so I don't know if you talked about this already, but as far as like, you know, there's not an endless stream of ideas that are just like flowing through our heads. So how do you continue, pouring out good content? I really like how you said like whenever you make a sale, talk about it. Um, but what are like some good ways like you post consistently? Because I like what you said also about like not posting content that doesn't align with you, because then it does really feel like a chore. How do you find your voice and then also be able to consistently push out your voice, when you
Yeah.
maybe don't have an idea all the time, you know?
Yeah. I do have a note, like a note on my notes app. I have a note that says content. So if I think of an idea randomly and I don't have time to film it, it goes on there. But also I redo some of my content. believe it or not, people don't remember things you post if you posted it a while ago. I have actually done this series now. This is the third time about sales tips, and I name it a different way. The first, I literally have done this for the first one was in December when I still had brown hair, so people don't remember it. But it was, hey, as somebody who went from writing 2K their first month to 22K, and it was like my January results. I talked about it. Here are tips I would say. And then I did it 2 months ago. And then I'm doing it right now. I'm posting it slowly again. People don't remember. I'm not saying the exact same thing, but I'm saying the exact same topic. I'm talking about, hey, here are tips I would do. Because you're gravitating to a new pool. You're gravitating, your videos getting to the top. The only videos that are staying at the top if they're old are videos that have a lot of engagement still or are constantly still getting pushed out. I have a video that, let me grab it. It's not even that good. It was one of the sales tip one I had. And let's see, because it has like I've probably gained 10 like interviews from it. It has 1,000 saves on it. That means there are people saved it enough. When you save something, the reason you saved it was because you want to go back to it. And it felt more important than a like. For some reason, it felt like, oh, I should save this. I want to see what's going on. I would tell you, you can like content you can take from other people, but write it down. But also, I'm treating this a little bit like a business. I have 2 hours blocked out of my calendar to make content and to think of content. That is where I'm doing that now. That's on my Thursdays and my Fridays. Why? Because my business has grown from this. I should be treating this like an income earning activity because guess what? This month it earned me $3,000 in overrides. It is a business. Like it is a business activity. Why am I not like we shouldn't not treat it that way? And it's not because I just pulled a bunch of people. I mean, we all know recruiting, the goal of recruiting when we want to get passive income, but we want to see people win. So I don't need to explain the heart, but we all know that, you know? So I would encourage you, find something you're passionate about and talk about it. You love talking about how you helped families and tips and tricks. You love coaching people. Go talk about that. You should share your story. Hey, I went from almost 2 months in a row zeroing out to now I consistently write 10 to 15K a month and your issue rate's insane. You should talk about that. Did the shifts that you did that played a part? That is a great way to kind of connect to your story. And you can do tips through it. You can share about that initially. I would also say this is something I would encourage all y'all to get. Y'all should all get a light. It's gonna light up in a second, but so I film a lot of content. You put your phone on it and it makes everything look a lot better. That is a great way to elevate your content strategy because I will tell you that Instagram and TikTok and all that push videos of high quality out. They don't usually push videos where it's dark and people don't like can't see you. That's at Ben Palmer. Me and Ben have talked about that. I literally told him to grab that. But okay. Does anybody else have a question? Yeah, I can drop a link for that. It's on Amazon. It's just Selfie Light.
Yeah. Hey, Sabina, I have a question. I have two questions, by the way.
Go for it.
So I know on TikTok, in order to add links in your bio for people to like book on your calendar, you have to have, I believe, like over 1,000 followers. So my question to you have two. One, how did you get to that 1,000 followers to be able to do that? And two, what is your follow-up once people slide into that, message and, ask
Yeah.
that they're interested?
I would say, consistent posting is really good. You're trying to get people that are starting to engage and get people that are starting to build. I think since October, I've gained more than 700 followers, but it's 700 followers that have stayed. People follow you and then they unfollow you and they follow you again, or other people do that. And I also have reshifted my brand. I had probably about maybe 1,400 when I started. So I already had enough to opt into it. But I would say that the consistency is pretty important. You need to be consistently posting. And then people are going to consistently kind of keep following you. And you just need one video to go do well. And you're going to keep gaining followers from that same video. And that consistency really does put yourself on the top. If I've taken time off, my views drop and I have to rebuild my views back and rebuild kind of my algorithm again. I would tell you another good thing is hashtag. I know hashtags sound kind of scary. Here are hashtags I would put on all of your posts. And y'all can write this down. Hashtag FYP, that's the For You page. That's putting you on a giant page. Next hashtag, I would say hashtag remote sales. People are looking for remote sales jobs. That's linking you in with high ticket sales. Reason for that, those people, they don't know how to get into high ticket sales and they'll probably do this if you teach them because they don't want to take a course. And then I do insurance, insurance sales, and then insurance talk. Those are the hashtags I do. The reason is you're already looking that up. If you're interested in insurance, at some point you looked it up, or you probably searched insurance or insurance tips. And guess what TikTok's doing? They're saying, hey, this person already searched this. You know what I'm gonna do? Put Sabina on their For You page because she's talking about that and she tags it. So it's connecting it together. That's how you fish in the right pool, is because it's linking you to the same people. We're linking you back to the people that are searching. It really becomes like shooting fish in a barrel, and it becomes a system you don't even have to be sending outbound while you're still don't have 1,000 followers. You do, but that's pretty easy to say, hey, send me a message if you're interested in your bio. If you don't have 1,000 followers, just say that. And then you can send it to people. Hey, I'm interested in joining your team. Great. Send the link. It's still recruiting. There's still people that fall off. There's still people that don't do anything. They join your team. But you get a lot of licensed agent. Wilbur's been here a while. He knows a little bit about cold market recruiting. A licensed agent on an interview is gold when you get it from LinkedIn. That's like your most coveted interview. Imagine if majority of your interviews were that way, because that's how majority of mine are from TikTok. It's all interviewed licensed people or people that are almost done with their course. It's insane. The turnaround time is crazy. Like you can get it very fast. And I know Jasmine's really good at content. Y'all could always look at her page, but that's kind of the content I found that have brought people in. Like I said, I'm not trying to go viral. I'm trying to build using this tool. So people need to see you. It's slow to build on social media. One viral post will could get you a ton of followers, but we don't know what that's going to look. We're not chasing being going viral. If you chase that, you're going to get very frustrated with social media. Even the best creators don't chase that. But yeah, so that's a little bit about social media. I was going to touch a little bit on Facebook and Instagram, but they're kind of the same thing. I don't treat Instagram like TikTok. They're not the same. It's your friends and family. They want to hear about what you're doing and they want the truth. They don't want just viral clips or a little bit about symmetry. I more talk about my journey on social media, on those two platforms, because Facebook and Instagram are the same thing now. We all know you post a photo and like you lose followers. You're like, why? Like it's just life updates. It also doesn't push your content that far. It just pushes it to your close friends. I would say use it more as a LinkedIn, life achievements, updates, stories, cool things. You don't know who in your following is looking for a job. Treat it a little more professional. TikTok, treat it as spam. Spam it, post as much as you can, your internal thoughts, set up the camera and just record. But yeah, I don't want to take too much of time because Wilbur wants to also talk. So
Not really.
okay.
No, that was beautiful. Like, and I mean, you were saying stuff that I never really thought of, and it is true. I mean, if you're going for for reach, like that's one thing, but like I'm sure by now, if you've been on any social media platform long enough, maybe have seen the graphic that random influencers put out that'll say like, oh, you only got 300 views. Have you ever seen what like a stadium with 300 people looks like, or a stadium with 1,000 people, a stadium with 2,000 people? It's really hard to get in front of that. And have you ever actually spoken in front of that many people live? That's one of the top, I'm making this up, but I'm going to assume that like top three fears in the world are public speaking. Right. And so you're like, oh, I only got 200 views. Like you would melt if you stood in front of 200 people. Most would. So I love that you brought that point up because that actually hit me. I'm like, wait, you're actually right. Where I have, you can put me in front of a million people and I'll just go up there and jibber jabber about God knows what for how long. So, but a few years ago, a tip if you're like getting nervous about speaking on camera. A few years ago, I was working with a personal development company. I was contracted as a coach for them, and those guys were like they were just the best at content. It was when content was like really fresh into putting the captions on with like, the yellow words and the little emojis that would pop up. Like this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I think kind of Hermosi was the one who came on the scene and really dubbed that type of content. And these guys would get on and just put a camera on and they would go, kind of like Sabina just said. So if you get nervous with that and you're like, how the heck? It's something I did for every day. I would drive to my office. It was like a 10 to 15-minute drive, depending on traffic. I would open my camera and I would practice talking to myself. And you look crazy, sound crazy, but then you can play it back. It's kind of like recording a appointment, right? And so you get to see and you just get more comfortable opening up your camera and talking. People do like that, and that's whether you're on the recruiting side or whatever. And somebody mentioned in the chat earlier about like Gary V, and like a lot of what something I learned from him years ago was like the punch punch jab, right? Or jab jab punch, sorry. Like if you're fighting, you're not always going for a knockout. You're like feeling your distance, and then you go. And it's a lot like that when it comes to education too on social media. So you don't always need to be having an ask. You don't always need to be saying this is what you need to do. Educate, drop a heater. Educate, drop a heater, right? So people that way it creates like the story and it also creates the authority within that space that you are like that you're a front runner in that profession, right? People are drawn to that. They're like, "Oh, this lady, this guy means business," right? Like he knows what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah.
So that's a really big deal. And one thing, I mean, Sabina covered the building aspect really well. Like I don't have much to offer there. I personally, how do I say this? I have it, my TikTok, I have it, I've used it, I hate it. I like Instagram, I like Facebook. And so like I heard Sabina say that, I'm like, hey, probably because I'm like, I don't know, I'm getting
But that's
old
because you
maybe. Is
sell
that what's
your
happening?
friends.
Huh?
That's because it's your friends that are buying policies from you.
Yes, it's sort of, but I've also generated a lot of random conversations on through Instagram too, right? And so when I was looking back on my TikTok, if you go back on my old one, I had a lot of views from my old company because I'd post it every single week throughout the week on there. And like even to this day, there is a post from 2022, I think it is, and it's got close to 100,000, but people are still saving it and still commenting on it asking for help. It's straight, and I never open TikTok, by the way. I rarely open it. For some reason, when Ethan Teller does something, it tells me every time he does, but other than that, I get zero alerts. I don't know why that happens. But if you are nervous about talking, like try that out. Like, who here was scared to record their first appointment, right? Or record their introduction, and you probably didn't even send it to anybody. Like realistically, how many of you recorded stuff with the intent to send it to your upline or somebody or a coach and you never did anything with it, right? And it's the same thing. No one's asking you to send it anywhere. But I'm telling you, people want to hear your voice and within your market too, this is an amazing way to make free money like make free money. You don't need to be on all the time going, "Hey, this is Wilbur. Do you need life insurance? Because I'm an insurance agent and I got licensed and I love to help people." No, that's lame as hell. So like go on there and give some education. Talk about the different like randomly talk about the different types of policies that are out there. The reason people don't buy life insurance is because they think it's confusing. The thing is confusing. They're like, I don't even know where to start, right? And you're not required to get it. So like randomly, and I've been off of it for a while, to be honest with you, but I've made a lot of sales through it. I probably hit most of my promotions due to warm market. I got to Hawaii because of it. And so like if when it comes to trying to get some business off there, and it is a long game. It is a long game. You put something out today, I'm almost willing to bet you will not sell something in the next few days. But if you put something out today, and then a couple times next week, and then eventually you're gonna get that text, "Hey dude, my wife and I are pregnant. Like we need to look into some coverage. Hey dude, just bought a new house. You mentioned something about like being able to protect the mortgage, whatever. Hey, can you help me?" Hey, do you know anything about those policies that build cash value? I saw some TikTok on it, right? So imagine this. You've got a Sabina out there posting all over TikTok explaining stuff, but because the person doesn't know Sabina, but they know that you sell the insurance, they're going to come to you because you have been talking about it, right? So it works both ways. Other people creating also helps you as a creator because they're going to circle back and be like, oh, wait, Rod's been talking about this. I know that I know a guy, I got a guy, I'm going to call Rod, right? And so, and like that's my biggest tip and just like randomly share stuff, right? And if you really need to like find some extra business, like you can look at your like randomly reply to your people. I've done this a lot where like someone will have a story and it'll be them at a park. I'm making this up, but like something along this lines, like family at a park, and I'll be like, "Hey, bro, like, do you have coverage just out of curiosity outside of your job?" No, and I've been thinking about it. Okay. When I went to Hawaii and I was pushing to win LGA, I sent out a group text to some brothers, literal like blood brothers that are close in age, and I'm like, boys, I need some help. I'm like, I'm trying to earn this incentive, and I need like any help. But one dude, we wrote a big policy. I didn't know that his wife. Are they married? Yeah, his wife at the time was like 10 weeks pregnant. They were like freshly new. He didn't mention it to me until months after. I'm like, I was wondering why you were willing to spend 130 bucks. Like you had nothing to actually protect. And so now he's got a kid on the way, right? And so you don't know until you know. And so yeah, use your stories and whatnot just for some slight education, right? I do it all. I don't do it as much anymore, but and when I do post, things happen. She's not on camera, but like, so Emma, who commented a minute ago, what's cool is we got connected through LinkedIn a long time ago. Didn't actually come through wherever life lifed, and then but she started following Scott and I, right? Started following Scott and I, and like and kind of saw the growth between our agencies and everything, and then was like, hey, I'm ready to do this thing. So like it just you don't know unless you're actively putting stuff out there.
Yeah.
Um, and authenticity is true. Like people need to know what's going on, and also you don't have to look good. Like I don't mean like physically. Like you don't have to sound the best. People are gonna like they will respond to you just being you. Um, and so that's like my 2 cents on it is just every once in a while put some education out there, reach out to people simultaneously. And then every once in a while, yeah, have an ask or like make some random stuff up. But we were going to the powerhouse in North Carolina. I was driving in my truck to the airport, horrible lighting. My truck, I have all terrain, so my truck like tires hum. So my truck is really loud on the audio. It sounds like crap when I'm in there. And I just like threw it on there. I hit the captions thing, didn't even read them. I got like 700 views, which is relative like I'm not impressed by. I had one guy reach out to me, ended up writing like 1,800 bucks on them. So like, are you willing to sound like crap for low views for an $1,800 policy?
Yeah.
And oh, and by the way, no one's gonna, like Sabina said, no one's gonna remember what you say like a week from now. If you want to go to the extreme, like Hermosi put a post up today. I love Hermosi, okay? Uh, Hermosi put a post up today about like what happens at a funeral. Somebody reads a few paragraphs about you, they eat some food that they're really concerned what's gonna be there. Then they get in their car, they go back to their task of what they have to finish the rest of the day, laundry, oil change, whatever. And then a week goes by and like that's it. Like we forgot about the funeral we were just at, right? And that's like at the extreme level, not to be morbid. But so if you're worried about putting out a post that somebody watches for approximately 43 seconds and you stuttered once, like it ain't a big deal. It
Yeah.
really isn't.
And also, and if you get trolls, you can just delete their comments. Sometimes when
Trolls are
someone
great.
annoys me, I just delete their comments because I'm like, disappear. Like, I don't care. Like, it's my page. It's your social media. Sometimes I reply to comments, but like, don't let it be bigger than what it needs to be. There is literally, especially in life insurance, there's 1,000 people that are trying to tear down everybody. They're in the industry and they comment on all the same people's posts. Block them, remove them, do whatever you need to do. Protect your own peace because there's way too many people that could come into this industry from you. You don't know how long they've been watching you. I've had people say that they've been watching me for multiple months. They want to hear your journey. They want to see if you're still in this. This is an in and out business. Stay consistent. You're going to see people come through. But I mean, there's people that have built successful agencies just from TikTok. Stephanie Jonas has a big agency from that. Dylan Crane is not, he doesn't do any cold market. He only does TikTok. Um, More to say, hey, this is a part of the job. When you treat it with that same respect that you would your leads, you're gonna see results. If you post once and give up, that's you're not going to probably see results. You got to be posting multiple times. You got to be building traction and building a following, building a brand, but also build education, like Wilbur said. Give people a reason to follow you beside just, hey, come join my team. There are people that are following you that are from other IMOs that are desperate for somebody like you. You don't know that person who needs you. The beautiful thing about symmetry is everybody's upline's different and every upline has something to give to them. And that means each of y'all have something to give to the people on your team. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be the best to recruit or to build. You just need to be there for them and want them to win. I think if you want your people to win, that's pretty much the number one key indicator of a good upline. If you don't want them to win, then you should not be an upline at all. That's it. That's the only requirement. Ben, you have a question?
Yeah, so I know you're saying it's like a slow thing. It takes time. You got to be consistent with it, which I agree with. How, as you're doing that, like as you're, taking the couple of months that it requires in the large amount of quantity that it takes of videos, how do you measure if you're getting better and progressing at it?
I mean, if I'm not getting interviews, then I know I'm not doing good. That's really how I measure it, is the interview intake. Am I
But what
getting
about
people
like, yeah, I guess more so like I definitely see obviously like that's a metric there. I'm more talking about like the actual
post?
quality of the video. Yeah, like the
See, I don't
actual
care
like
about the quality of the video. I'm not measuring my quality of my video because I'm looking to gain people. I'm looking, if the qualities of your video, Instagram isn't a TikTok isn't a quality thing, it's a quantity. We're looking at two different things. If you look at my page, it is just me yapping at my desk. Yapping at my desk has gained me a ton of followers or a ton of agents coming on team. At the end of the day, I'm not competing with the best content creator. All I'm trying to do is just post enough times so that there's somebody that sees my face for that one video that the algorithm shoved into a different path and then it prompted them. Because you don't know who's going to because some of the videos go 600 and then some of them go to 4,000. And sometimes I post memes too. Like I posted a funny one about like audio, like voicemails that your people give you. It doesn't have to be serious. It's just, hey, I'm just posting things that feel like me. I would post funny audios anyway, but I'm not trying to compare, like I'm trying to be consistent quantity that I'm pushing out, not quality. Because quality is just camera on, good lighting, talking. I want to have an idea behind what I'm talking about, but beyond that, it's just more putting enough content out there because that's how TikTok's changed. Like TikTok hasn't isn't like there's vloggers that go viral, but it's really hard to go viral in the vlogging space because it's aesthetic only. If you ditch aesthetic and you go authenticity, you don't have to compare yourself to views. You're just more trying to compare yourself to engagement. I want people commenting on my photos, commenting on my things. If I'm not getting comments or saves or likes, then that means my content's not hitting and I need to go back to the drawing board and look at what I'm doing. Does that make sense? Maybe a little bit how I metric wise. Um,
And
Latonia.
also the way that you speak, like you have to, it's better to speak the way that you like know how and are comfortable to speak than try to sound like somebody else.
Yeah.
If you're talking that is, I really like, that's all I really know. Sabina's so good at the freaking ones with the voiceovers. The Drake one was great the other day.
Which one was
Um,
that? Oh yeah, that one was
huh?
funny. The shebang.
But I could never do that. Like that ain't me. Like I see that I'm like she crushed that, not me, right? And so but like it's better to talk in the way that you speak and align it with the things that you like. Like I'm good at that, I think. Where
Yeah.
like I can talk about I can bring somehow and I'm like slowly finding the magical way of bringing my history of behavioral health to leadership to sales to like all of it into one because that's me, right? I am not like Dylan's IG. I don't it doesn't attract me to be quite frank. I don't go to it and I'm like I love this. But but because that's what he's good at, it attracts him. The other thing too, I was talking to Christina Watts like a month ago, and I don't know how many of you guys use Claude yet. I feel like ChatGPT and I broke up. Sad day. But if you go on there and explain like if you've got any data there, and just explain exactly what you want to do. Talk about who you are, what you think you're good at. Like it can help you kind of create a plan. And just give you ideas of like how for you to be, it sounds weird to say like how to be more authentic, but it'll spark and it'll actually reconfirm what you're good at and who you are. So don't be scared to like use that. It's here for the taking, dude. Like that your AI is not going to replace things, but it's going to replace people who use it, right? Like people who use it will replace people that don't, is what I mean.
Yeah.
So, like that's what I would suggest too if you're really struggling. Just like brain dump, but don't tell it I want to look like this. Don't do that. It's this is who I am, right? And how do I get that out? Because you don't need to be attracting misaligned things. Like I would never attract that FFL like hardcore style. It's just not me. And so although I would take a leg of that if we find some of those, I'll take a leg, but I'm not going to get those direct probably. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's what you want. You want to learn, like you want to learn your voice in that. But that's why I said like authentic content's more important than aesthetic. Too many times we think perfection is what people want to see. They just want to see you. They want to hear you and know you. It takes the stress out if you just do that. Latonia, you'll have a question.
Yeah, I put it in a chat, but I just wanted to know how often do you post and how many videos do you drop within a week?
Okay, so an ideal week, I like to post 3 times a day, 5 days a week. But I make a lot of content. Like this is my drafts. Like when I'm having a good day, I'll just make like 17 videos and just wait to see which ones I want to post. The reason for
Mhm.
that is you may want to post them later, but I mean, I have drafts on here from July that I haven't,
Mm.
like last year, that I haven't posted. I have drafts from when my hair was dark. I have drafts like I have running videos. I have just different things I yapped about, different things I don't know if I want to post yet. So I would say a lot of it is, batching. When you batch things, it makes it a lot easier because when you hit a flow state, then you can just keep going. When you start making one good video, next video, the next video. I wouldn't encourage y'all to try to make a video every day. I would encourage you to take 3 days of the week and make 4 to 5 videos that day to post for that week because that's going to like not stress you out, but also it's not that hard to make a lot of time to do that. You could do that in 1 hour. For me, when I make content, if it's like a content day, I usually do my hair and do my makeup because I know I'm going to like the content I post because I know I look good. For if you're a guy, hey, wear an outfit you like. Ethan wear like I know when Ethan's having a good content day because he's wearing that, not a robe. So like I know when Ethan's having a good content day because of that. And he probably fixed his hair. He probably feels like, hey, I'm feeling it. Or he usually made a sale and he posts like 6 videos because your energy's high. Goal shouldn't be to work against who you are and your energy. After you make a sale, you should try to make 3 videos. That should be your challenge. You would have your content for a month in a week with how much sales you sling. Like you could have that. That's when your energy is the highest. Um, that should be the challenge this next week. After you make a sale, post a video. But like all of us have content that resonates. Me and Chantel were talking about this with Scott last week, where she was like, hey, the posting how much I make thing kind of doesn't feel like me. I like talking about the benefits I get from this job of my kids. Well, guess what? Post about your kids because there's a mom on there that wants that. And she may not relate to me because I don't have kids, but she may relate to Chantel. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's like who I want to become. And that's a client or not a client, that's a person I would never get, not because no, we're not like there's no one's better or one's worse. It's just more who does our content relate to. That's why we're not chasing virality. We're trying to literally hook people with it. But Bert, do you have a question?
No, I was gonna say thank you for this, Sabina. As a proud Gen Xer, probably a little bit elder than people on this call here, but that's just a powerful reminder for today's call to value what you shared. So thank you for that. And what I've learned is in the past when I've just documented versus try to create, I find I get a better response. It's more authentic than just trying just to create something. So once you thank you, Sabina, for this, so just kind of little fire I needed to get back on
Yeah.
social media and post again, different things. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you need help with editing, I honestly would encourage you to stay in the TikTok app. But if you really want to go beyond that and do like little clips, CapCut's really good. CapCut's a good way to edit things. I will tell you because it's templates. People kind of naturally scroll away unless it catches their attention quickly. But TikTok, literally, you can add overlays like deposits. You can do that, like how I posted that screenshot and I put it in there. You can you can zoom in, you can do cuts. I would say TikTok's really the best way to edit, and it's going to keep it less heavy. The biggest thing I want y'all to walk away from this is that social media doesn't have to be heavy. It should just be a platform to share your story. And the heavier you make it, the harder it is to post. It it's light. It's your page. Treat it literally like just a chill vlog or a FaceTime with your friends. The lighter it is, the more you're gonna want to do it. So yeah, you get faster, you get better at posting every day.
Yep. Yep. And so like 4 or 5 years ago, I went and spent like 1,500 bucks on a fancy Sony A7 9 or something. I don't even know what the hell it was, camera. Thought and mics, all the things. Hired a crew to do all my editing. I would just film the video, they would chop it up. I was doing long form, short form. That'll burn you out really quick, like really quick. And now my phone, I'm due for a new phone. This is like, I don't even know what the iPhone is up to. I think I have like a 12. And like my videos are like blurry and they perform better than when I had all the fancy things with the whole team doing it. There was like a whole group of people like editing and then they would send it to me. It's awesome. Stuff looked great, but it didn't do anything extra. So like it really didn't. So I'm glad to go through that experience, honestly, because in my mind, like everything I do, I like shiny things. I like nice things, but it doesn't make a difference.
Well, and you can also get basic level. Hey, good lighting. You can go on Amazon. There's mini mics. I don't know where my mini mics are. I think they're in my other room. Mini mics, sometimes I'll hold it and just do it a microphone. All those things connect to your phone. You don't need it if you don't want to stand in front of a window and film. Good lighting's really good. It elevates your content automatically. It literally is the cheap. That is the best thing I would say is the only aesthetic just work on. Just make sure you have good lighting. Turn your flash on TikTok. Um, I would tell you TikTok's a great tool because it is actually pushes your content beyond your followers. Most of the time, it's not to your followers anyway. That would be it. But yeah, y'all post something. Take this week. If you make a sale, go make a post about it. See what happens. But yeah, does anybody have any other questions? Anything I can help with? I'm not the best at TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, we built a pretty good team from it.
No, I don't. I think you're like I'm gonna go ahead and smash that comment. No one says you're the best, but you're consistent as heck, which is what is creating wins. There's a difference. It's like you said, you could if you post once a month and have these crazy shiny things, but you're not consistent, it doesn't matter. So, you're a really good example. Like it's got me inspired. That you're doing the right thing. So this has been awesome. You recorded this.
Yeah, I did. I'll send it to you if
Okay,
you
cool.
want. I'm gonna post it
Yes.
to YouTube too. All right,
Okay.
that's it. No more recording stuff.